Okay, great. We're ready. I'll give that to you, Tom.
Oh,
Uh,
okay.
Hello, everyone. That was Two People, Infinite Endings, and we're going to do a Q&A. We're going to start with you, Tom Paul Martin. You are the writer and director behind Where Are All the Gay Superheroes? A question we've all been asking ourselves. So I was looking at your bio for the film last night, and I pulled a little quote. So you said this story isn't just about superheroes. For these characters, it's about what it means to have power and be gay. Can you tell us a bit more about that concept?
Yeah, I mean, there's Heated Rivalry out right now, right? That's the show that's taking the world by storm. It's a similar story. It's about the discomfort between being perceived as being powerful and popular as well. Those two kind of things together, which celebrity is all about. It's the meeting of those two things, and then being queer or being othered in some way, and the desire to conform. So it's not necessarily a new story by any means, but I wanted to explore it through a genre that we hadn't seen it much in on screen.
Okay, great, fantastic. Right, we'll have some more Q&As, but we'll get through everyone. Hello, Keith.
Hello, Julia.
How are you doing?
Very well,
It's
thank
been a
you.
while.
It has.
So I do actually know Keith. I did a couple of short plays with him back when I was just finishing off university.
At Loughborough, yeah.
Yeah, in Loughborough, yeah. So that was a little while ago, and here we are, reunited, Keith. Right. So this is Keith Large, and he is the writer of Tuna and Ted, which was about the man who does not like fillings. He's not a fan of fillings. Now, I remember from the theatre pieces I did with you that you are a big fan of writing comedy. What is it about comedy that attracts you so, Keith? Tell us.
A lot of the time, it's a great way of getting my frustrations with the world out. And Tuna and Ted is no different. It was actually influenced by a takeaway that I was sent to in the middle of Birmingham one summer, and the guy was absolutely horrendous who was running it. He shouted at his staff and everything. And I went back to the person who'd sent me in there, and I says, "Is he always like that?" "Oh yeah," he goes, "through and horrendous staff." And that was the catalyst for Tuna and Ted. But obviously, we've set it in a jacket potato situation, and then a bizarre location of a Churchill to give that wackiness to it.
Okay, great, fantastic. Archie is back again. Like I said, we're going to have a Q&A later, but we've got to make sure we at least ask everyone one question right. Archie Parker, you are back at the Rugby Workshop Film Festival once again. For those of you that weren't here on the 3rd, he had another film in the third day of the rest of your life category, and he's had 2 in this one. Archie Parker has the most films on at the Rugby Workshop Film Festival. He is from Rugby, and he is our prodigy. And next, it's going to be the Oscars, right?
Hopefully, maybe.
Okay,
Who
good.
knows?
Yes, that's
you never know.
right. So I was. Oh yes, let me just. You will probably know which films he was in because he was also in them as well as directing them. But he did. You Aren't Alone in This, which was the black and white one where Archie got kidnapped.
Yes.
And then he also did Unseen, which was where Archie was telling his girlfriend about a strange creature that's been following him. Obviously not Archie, but the characters that he was playing.
The characters, yeah.
Yes. Otherwise, a lot of things happen in your life.
I know, yeah, it's crazy.
So I was looking at your profile for the films as well, and for these 2, it said you spent £0 making it, and for Bench, which we saw on the 3rd, you spent 250. So I reckon we need some tips on how you are making your films at such a low budget.
Well, I guess a good story to tell is You Aren't Alone in This. I saw it was snowing when I woke up one morning. It was like last year or something. And I called my friend and I was like, I want to film the snow. I want to do something. And on the car ride to the woods, I came up with the idea for the film, and we just shot it run and gun on, like, making it up as we go along. And I just love that approach to filmmaking, and I love just
impulsively making something and finding if you see a cool little location like the abandoned barn in Unseen, I'm like, oh, I want to do something there. Let's shoot something. Let's come up with something to make there. And I guess that's how I make it with no budget, because I don't plan it in a way.
Oh,
I just kind of make it. Yeah.
And then you also have a very good knack for the edit as well, so you don't have to pay someone else to do that.
Yes.
That works well.
Yeah.
Right, okay, well, we'll pass it along to the next person.
I shall just move out a bit so I can see you. Hello.
Yes, hello, Gavin Irvine?
Yes, that's right. Irvine.
Irvine.
Yes,
Gavin Irvine, this is the director of The Postman,
indeed.
which was,
Yep,
they've got
that's
it,
the one.
They've got it. That's the one. Right. So, what I really enjoyed about your short film is it kind of it reminded me kind of Charlie Chaplin, Mr. Bean, that kind of
Yeah.
like physical, really over the top comedy. So, is that your favorite kind of?
There's a definite
Very
childlike element to it, which I wanted. I think all those guys you've just named are geniuses,
Yeah.
and to make anybody laugh is very difficult. So I'm glad there was some laughter in the room today when it was just showed. But yes, comedy is a very difficult genre to master.
Mm,
But I like making comedy.
fantastic. Right. Okay, we're going to pass it over to Ivan Wilkinson, who you will recognize from the short film Petrol Border. Yes, and he was also here previously playing an abusive husband in Come to Me. It'll come to me.
Exchange Street.
Exchange Street. No, that wasn't going to come to me. I completely forgot that one. Right. So I wrote a question for you, Ivan. It was very late at night, so I believe it's quite a strange question. So, Ivan, you are back here in my nice, clean Rugby Warwickshire Film Festival playing somehow an even more sinister character than the abusive husband that you played before. You are now playing a serial killer. What do you have to say for yourself, young man? I wrote that question at about 2 a.m. So, what
Right,
do you have
okay.
to say for yourself?
Well, believe it or not, there was before those two rules, I was mainly playing very nice, jolly parts, and
No more Mr. Nice, Ivan.
and then it just happened those two came out in quick succession. The last one was a friend of mine to try and partly to do something different.
Mhm.
And I quite enjoyed doing something different. So when I got together with a group of friends and we thought we'd try doing some stuff. This is a few years ago now, but about 2 or 3 years ago, we tried to do some stuff, and we got together and I didn't write it. A friend of mine, Duncan, wrote it, and I badged the part. Right?
Yes.
I quite enjoyed it though. If that's sinister, I don't know what.
It kind of feels like you've come to the Rugby Warwickshire Film Festival to kind of be recruited as a villain for all filmmakers' films who visit. So
Well, there's an idea. Hello, everyone.
there's your future villain, I reckon. Right, okay. Shall we pass it over to Nick Dipchand? Is that right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Have I pronounced that right?
Yeah, that's it. Yeah, that's it. Yeah.
Nick Dipchand, who wrote How Close Am I, which was our finale film with the guidance counselor. There she is right there. Yes. We've got a celebrity in the audience with us. Right, so this short film, it was very bare bones. It was just one space. It was 2 actors. It was 23 minutes long. So what techniques as a director did you use to keep us engaged?
I mean, I guess whether or not you were engaged is up to you. But
I was. So
it's
I speak for
myself. I think at least for me, probably a weakness I've decided to celebrate is my plots are kind of just excuses. They're very thin to get people in rooms talking. It's my favorite thing to do. So for me, I found, because the original draft of it and the original cut of it was actually longer, and I had to get rid of anything that didn't make me laugh or make me think about something, with the very real possibility that I might be the only one to ever watch it. that if there was anything I thought was, well, this is kind of slower, or maybe this is kind of dull, if it wasn't something that was giving me a palpable reaction, I kind of just had to get rid of it. And when it's already that long, it becomes easy to distance yourself enough to chop things out.
Fantastic. Right. We've got time for a very short Q&A because I haven't really put long breaks between the sessions. So short Q&A. Any questions for any of our fantastic filmmakers, casts and crew? Oh, yes. There we go.
Yeah, have you thought about finding yourself anything? Because I remember on YouTube, there was like some of these people that sort of give themselves little goals to do, like have a certain line, have a certain character name, or have a certain item you have to include in said films. Have you ever thought about giving yourself some sort of challenges? Like you see something and you go, I'm going to try and put that in a film. It's going to be somewhere in the film. Does that be important? That has to be in there somewhere.
Okay. Who is the question for? We might. Okay. Who wants to answer the question? There we go.
I am currently writing my next feature, which I told myself I want it to be able to translate into a play and a feature at the same time. So I'm trying to make it so there's nothing that you could edit. Like there's no flashback sequences that just appear like that. It all has to take place on the stage and in kind of real time in a way.
So it has to sort of be like sort of something that you can have different scenes, they have to be on the same stage.
Yeah.
At one half of one movie, at the other half of the other movie.
Yeah.
So like play goes wrong, I suppose.
Yeah, a little bit, yeah.
Okay. Any other questions or anyone else want to answer that one?
Can I just ask you a question? A lot of these films, they seem to be, I can almost imagine how you carry on with it or what came before. So I'm just wondering if you had written a longer film originally with scenes before, and whether now that you've made it, you think you could turn it into something bigger. I mean, for instance, yeah, I can imagine. What's his story? What's his backstory? Why is he on bike?
He's just having fun.
Petrol head. So what's his story? Have you ever thought about maybe?
It's actually a sequence from a feature film I'm making. I've got about an hour of the film already shot and edited, and we're hoping to finish it this year. The feature film's called Little Dipper Bus, and it's about a bicycle race. And it's based on Aesop's the Tortoise and the Hare. Whereas there's one guy is the tortoise and the other one's the hare, but the tortoise actually wins by drugging the hare. That's the kicker. That's the joke. But the young guy who's in the yellow top, who's on the chopper, he's the hare. He's the young guy. But the sequence, the postman just came about very organically. And I got this guy to sort of get on the chopper and go, and he did. And it was hilarious. And then it's in various stages, 3 different stages. The little film you've seen just came together very quickly. But yes, it is part of a feature film.
Okay. Right, I reckon maybe one more question. We've got time. Yes.
I'm just curious to know how everybody got connected with the actors that they had in each of their films, depending on the background of that.
Who fancies answering this question?
Okay, they were a group of people who sort of knew each other. The other guy in the thing I actually went to drama school with, Nick, and it's weird because we sort of reconnected after a while. Last time I saw him, we were in Romeo and Juliet together touring, and then I didn't see him for 12 years, and he appeared living quite close to me, and so we said, let's do something, and that's how that happened. Duncan was another guy who was around the scene and happened to have lots of equipment, so he's a very popular guy. But yes, that's how that came about. Anyone? Yeah. Peter, who played Turnover Ted, I originally got him into theatre and stage plays, and he was actually in one of the productions that Julia appeared in, where we did a fundraiser for the Stroke Association at the Y Theatre.
Over my head.
You was there, Julia.
Yeah.
No,
I was there.
yeah,
I was there.
there was-
Sure,
there
I
was-
remember.
there were several different plays. Peter wasn't actually in one with you, but he was in several different ones. And then Peter graduated into doing short films with me. And then the lady who plays Luna Tuna, she was somebody I discovered when I went to get my hair cut, and I turned her from an hairdresser into an actress, and that's another story.
There you go.
I can talk really briefly about it. I had a really hard time finding the actors for my film because it's quite a difficult brief to find, because you kind of want people who look like Chris Evans and the guy Chris Hemsworth and like all the Chris's who play superheroes. So I was looking for sort of like quite an action hero-y looking person, and then my friend was in a short-lived TV show set in Birmingham actually, called Zomboats, which is about zombies on a canal boat. And in the last episode of his series, there was this guy who he told my friend Hamza told me that this guy was actually Irish and also was gay, and he was playing a straight man from the Midlands. And I thought that's like real range there. That's bravery. So I reached out to him to ask if he'd be interested in doing this superhero role, and he was, which was great. And then so he's the guy who plays the superhero in the white costume, and then that made it easier once he was attached to find actors who were up for playing the other parts, which is the superhero in the red costume. And the actor who played that role was on Hollyoaks for a while as the boyfriend of one of the main cast members who I'd worked on a documentary with the year before. So it's like little connections kind of coming together.
Nice. Fantastic. I think that's about all we've got time for, because we've only got a little bit of time before the next screening. But let's give our lovely filmmakers cast and crew a big round of applause.